Hi everybody, Param here once again, and welcome to this next edition of Rock with Doc. In this episode, we're going to talk about a rock and roll number which has got one of the best opening riffs in the history of rock anthems, if you may call it, which was released in the year 1972 by the Mark II edition of Deep Purple, comprising Ritchie Blackmore in the lead guitar, Roger Glover in bass guitar, Ian Pace in drums, John Lord in keyboard, and Ian Gillan, one of my favorite all-time vocalists. Well, the song is Smoke on the Water from the album Machine Head. So Deep Purple landed in Montreux, Switzerland, as per the recommendation of Claude Nobbs, who is a chairman of the Montreux Casino, to record this new album Machine Head. Well, before we go into the details, we need to do some rewind. Why did they come to Switzerland? A UK band, couldn't they have recorded in UK? Why come all the way to Switzerland to record this? Well, the management of Deep Purple in the month of April 1971 decided that they're going to record the next album outside of United Kingdom because they were facing a lot of taxation issues. And if you go out of UK, many of these taxation issues could be sorted out. And it was by the recommendation of Claude Nobbs that Deep Purple came all the way to Switzerland from United Kingdom. The song actually kicks in with this phenomenal, one of the most famous opening riffs in the history of rock and roll by Ritchie Blackmore, who actually thought that this is a kind of a medieval tone which actually is pretty dark considering the lead opening riff of this particular song. So once he starts playing the opening riff, then kicks in John Lord's organ. Then comes Ian Pace in his fantastic drums. Then comes the deep submerged bass guitar of Roger Glover, who should be credited with the title of the song. And finally comes in the raspy, brilliant vocals of Ian Gillan. Then comes the initial phrase or stanza of this particular song, which all of you know, I'm sure. So how did Deep Purple land up in Pavilion Hotel? Well, Claude Nobbs, director of Montreux Jazz Festival, had initially made plans for Deep Purple to record in the casino. And unfortunately, after the fire, they need another place to record. So Claude Nobbs found a place for Deep Purple to record in Pavilion Hotel. And Ritchie Blackmore, who came up with the riff, and the song was partially recorded here. But there was a lot of noise being made while recording, and Swiss police came and stopped recording of this song. But again, they need to go somewhere else. So Claude Nobbs once again found a place for them, but this time it was in another hotel called Grand Hotel, which again is mentioned in the lyrics of the song. Let us check out the lyrics once again. We ended up at Grand Hotel. It was empty, cold and bare, but with rolling truck stones, things was outside, making our music there.
Few red lights, a few old beds. We made a place to sweat.
So what is this reference to? Few red lights, few old beds, few places to sweat. In an interview, Ian Gillan later on said that it was too bright in the hotel and they put on some red bulbs to sort out the issue. And apart from these acoustics, there was another problem, which actually they improvised the sound soak by using mattresses as sound baffles. Wow, so innovative by Deep Purple, isn't it? So let's get on to the history of the song more in detail. So Frank Zappa and his band were playing the night before in the Montreux Casino, and Deep Purple actually went to here basically to see how the hall sounded. This was the theatre's final concert before the casino complex closed down for its annual winter renovations, which would allow Deep Purple following which to record here. So during the concert of Zappa, when the keyboard player Don Preston was playing the solo on King Kong, someone from the audience fired a flare gun. Deep Purple was in the audience during that show. And in fact, in one of the interviews, Ian Gillan, the lead singer, recalls 2 flares being shot by someone sitting right behind him, which went right above his shoulder and landed in the top corner of the building.
How did it happen exactly?
The fire?
Yeah.
Comment ça s'est passé l'incendie exactement?
We just started playing King Kong, and it was time for Don Preston's.
On a juste commencé.
Which actually quickly set it ablaze. The fire soon engulfed the entire casino, and unfortunately, Zappa lost all his equipment in the fire. In fact, if you go through the videos which are there, in YouTube and various other channels, you could actually see Zappa announcing people to please leave the casino quietly, asking them not to panic, and actually the people left without any issues whatsoever. There was no casualties at all.
I told everybody to
Et j'ai dit à tout le monde de se calmer et de sortir tranquillement.
And if you take this lyrics of the song in detail, of this particular song, Smoke on the Water, the lyrics exactly refer to the sequence of events that happened in the casino that day. So what does this title Smoke on the Water means? In fact, the title credit for this song should go to the bass guitarist Roger Glover, who actually referred to the smoke on the water from a fire which he saw spreading over Lake Geneva from the burning casino. He, in fact, again, in one of the interviews was telling that he saw this dream 2 days later following the fire when he saw the Lake Geneva being engulfed in a ball of smoke. So the result was a song telling the story of these strange events just days after it happened. Such a coincidental thing to happen for a wonderful song which came up and actually changed the history of rock and roll. But more than the first one, the second part is more interesting to me. Why? Because the entire song Smoke in the Water is based on Frank Zappa's live performance in the stage, getting submerged by the fire, etc., which you all talked about. This happened on the 4th of December 1971. Exactly 22 years later, Frank Zappa died. What a coincidence. One of the most ironical part of the song was none of the band members initially thought that this song will be a hit as much as it has become. So this song was released later, separately. And of course, the rest, as we all know, is history. This was one of the biggest grosser for Deep Purple, and it's a game changer for that band ever since. Thanks for watching this show of mine, wherein I've tried to unveil some story or history behind one of my favorite songs, Smoke in the Water. Please don't hesitate to press the bell icon to subscribe or share with your friends. And as of now, your host Param signing off. See you soon. Adios. Goodbye.